Hi everyone, so we're going to be adding fractions with different denominators once again, video 2. In this video, we're going to add fractions with different denominators, just like we did yesterday. But with this problem, we are going to have to reduce our fraction in the end. So let's see how we do it. So draw a nice little line right here. And notice that the problem has different denominators. So let's line up the fractions vertically going up and down. So we're going to have 3/5 plus 1/4. We're going to set them up vertically just like we did with our problem yesterday. So notice that they have different denominators. They have a 5 and a 4. We cannot add these fractions until we get a common denominator. So let's do as we did yesterday. So look over here. We're going to do our little T-chart with our current denominators, 4 and 5. And we are going to find the least common multiple so that we are able to get a common denominator. So let's see here, common multiples. So first we find the multiples of 4 by counting by 4s. So we're going to do it like this. 4, 8, 12, 16, 18, and 20. Let's stop right there. So let's do the same thing with our 5. We're going to find the multiples of 5 by counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. And we're going to stop right there. Notice that they have two multiples in common, the 20. I'm going to circle these right here. These numbers are least common multiples. We're going to label them with an LCM. And then these are going to become our new denominators. Our LCM of 20 is going to become our new denominators. So notice that we are writing our new denominators next to our original denominators from the original problem. So look over here, we're missing some numerators. We're missing the top numbers, right? So how do we get our new numerators? So I'm going to show you. So let's look at our top fraction, 3/5. And let's see, our original denominator is 5, and we created a new denominator of 20. So we're going to ask ourselves, how do we get from the 5 to the 20? It's always going to be with multiplying. That's a hint. So what did we multiply by? We multiplied by 4. 5 times 4 gives us 20. So whatever we do to the bottom of a fraction, we must repeat and do the same thing to the top. So look, we're going to also multiply the top by 4. 3 times 4 gives us 12. Look what we just did. We created a new numerator. All right, so let's look at our bottom fraction, 1/4, and we're going to do the same exact thing that we just did with our top fraction. So let's see. We have our original denominator of 4. We have our new denominator of 20. And how did we get there? Once again, hint, it's always going to be with multiplication. So what did we multiply 4 by to get to 20? We multiplied it by 5. And remember, whatever we do to the bottom, we must repeat and do the same thing to our top. So we're going to also multiply the top by 5. 1 times 5 gives us 5. So look over here. We created two new fractions. We created 12/20 and we created 5/20. And look, they now have a common denominator. So we are able to add these. So look at what I am going to do. I am going to add the two numerators, right? The two top numbers. Look, drawing a little arrow from the 12 and the 5. We're going to add these together. 12 plus 5 gives us 17. And we keep our denominator of 20. So we have an answer of 17/20. Let me put a box around it in purple. And then I will put a box around it in orange. So when we look at our final answer, 17/20, we need to ask ourselves, do we need to simplify this or no? So let's look at it first. This fraction has this fraction has a numerator that's smaller than the denominator, right? The top number is smaller than the bottom number. So this is a regular fraction. So then the next thing we ask ourselves is, do the 17 and the 20 have any factors in common? And they don't, right? Factors of 17 are just 1 and 17. The only numbers you can multiply to get 17 are 1 times 17. And to multiply numbers and get to 20, 1 and 17 are not common factors, so we cannot further simplify this answer. So bingo, this is our final answer, 17 over 20. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow along for more videos. Bye.